All of these online gurus tell you they make millions of dollars with AI. But is it actually true? Well, I don't think so. I call BS. Regardless, I'm going to show you 3 ways in which I'm using AI to monetize content in 2025. 3 ways I'm actively using them in my business right now to monetize AI content. It's going to be a very boring video. We're going to jump straight into my computer. But I mean, if you want to succeed in life or in business, right, you got to go through the boring stuff. So again, I'm going to show you 3 tangible ways in which we are leveraging AI to monetize content in 2025. And hopefully, if you apply these same strategies into your business, you too can monetize AI content this and in the coming years. So with that being said, let's just jump straight into my computer and get on with it. Let's go. All right, we're here. We have a lot to cover, so let's just get going. 3 ways to monetize AI content in 2025. By getting traffic from Google, Bing, and now LLMs like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, and Claude. Okay, so we're going to learn how to monetize AI content by getting traffic from these search engines, okay? Whether it's the classic search engines or the new wave of search engines like GPT and all the others, okay? Now, first things first, before any of this, right, you have to have something to sell, okay? Otherwise, all this is pointless. And the amount of people, you'd be surprised, I see that have nothing to sell or have the wrong thing to sell or the product isn't good enough, wasting time with trying to drive traffic to it, well, it's insane. So before you want to find a way to monetize AI content in 2025 by getting traffic from these search engines, well, make sure that you have something to sell first and that thing you're selling is actually good, okay? That solves a problem. Otherwise, all this is pointless, okay? Now, let's go over the very first way, okay? Which is monetizing your competitors, okay, through BoFu content. So in essence, you are making money off of your competitors' search terms through bottom of the funnel content. Here's what I mean. Now, quick note, this works for SaaS, okay, software owners, agency owners, e-commerce. This won't work for local businesses, okay? I'll give you a tip down below that works for local businesses. These ones, no, okay? Just for software, agencies, or e-com, okay? Now, how do we monetize our competitors' brands through this type of content? Well, it's quite simple. We're going to be creating 3 types of pages. And these pages will ideally rank for high buying intent keywords. All this is going to make sense. Let me give you an example. Okay. So we are going to create 3 types of pages: comparison pages, alternative pages, and informational based pages. Here's what I mean. So if we go here, for example, to Thinkific. Thinkific is a software that allows you to host an online course. Okay. They do a lot of millions a year, right? And quote unquote, all they are is a platform, a software where you can host online courses on. Okay. As you can see, this page, Thinkific versus Kajabi, is just a simple page comparing them versus the competitor, right? The plans, top features, what they do, what they don't do, course create. I mean, every single thing, in-depth piece of content about them versus the competition, okay? And if we just change the URL right here from Kajabi to, I don't know, some other competitor, Teachable, okay? The page is the exact same. The page is the exact same, of course, the info changes, okay? So this is what we call a comparison page. And the way in which we're leveraging our competition is because we're talking about them, right? We're saying, hey, listen, our competition charges this, 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 and this. These are all their features. This is what they do. This is what they don't do. So we're talking about the competition, but we're comparing them to us, right? Thus, talking a bit better about us than them. That's the idea of this. And so this first type of content, comparison pages, okay, where you do a comparison between a competitor and another competitor, or the competitor versus you, because you can compare 2 competitors, or you can compare you versus them, okay, so or them versus them, right? You're optimizing for their brand's names, their info and features, right? So the pages are quite simple. They go over what the competitor 1 is, what competitor 2 is, and a comparison between both. And we do this as well in our product. If you scroll down here, just go down to the comparison pages, right? Ours are pretty shit, but we're working on it. It's simply us versus the competitor, a video like going over what they do, what we don't do, our features, why we're better, etc. Right? Pretty in-depth stuff right here. And we're targeting our competitors' keywords. And these pages are ranking for high buying intent keywords. Why? Because they rank for stuff like competitor pricing, competitor features, right? Or in this case, competitor alternative, because this is one of the other types of pages we're going to be building, right? Alternative pages, all talking about your competitor, what they do, what they don't do, and then listing out alternatives. And these not only will rank on the classic Google and Bing search engines, but they'll also be mentioned on these new AI agents. Let me show you an example. If you go here to ChatGPT, for example, right? And hey, quick interruption, Vasco from the future here. And I just wanted to say that if you want to learn a bit more about SEO and all these strategies in depth, you can join the Academy. It's arvow.com/academy. I'll leave a link in the description. You can also watch this video. And what you get by joining, let me just skip past all these case studies, is first things first, you get a full year's access to my AI software. The one that I show you on the video, right? You get a full year's access to it, right? Fully unlocked, a full 12 months access to the whole software included, right? Then you get access to the SEO community where we do weekly SEO calls. You get access to one consulting call with myself, a 45 one-on-one minute consulting call with me where I can go over your site, any tips I think you should be doing, anything I think you should be changing in your SEO strategy. We'll talk about that. SEO Q&A sections. You get access to my 7 SEO courses plus my Rank and Rent plugin. The courses are these ones: the AI SEO course, A to Z SEO course, local SEO course, the YouTube or the video SEO course that teaches you how to rank videos on Google and Bing and YouTube as well. The local SEO course that teaches you how to rank your sites on Google Maps. These ones are also very in-depth as well. My backlink building course, which teaches you step-by-step how to build backlinks, I sell for $300 each. So if you watch this, you can also sell them for $300 each. My Rank and Rent SEO course, my e-commerce SEO course, again, these are all these 7 courses included, plus a bunch of detailed step-by-step case studies on what other businesses are doing with some gold nuggets you can then apply to your own business. So there's also, by the way, 100% money back guarantee. So come in, interact, watch the training. If you don't like it, if you don't succeed with it, don't see results, well, I'll give you your money back. And so that's the little promo right here if you want to learn a bit more about SEO, how we're doing things, and talk with me, like weekly calls, one consulting call to just, help you see the vision and boost your success chances in the SEO space or the marketing space. Well, this is for you. I'll leave a link for this as well in the description. And with that being said, I'll leave you to it. Let's go on with the video. And I type in Thinkific alternatives. Reply in English. I'm sorry why this is in Portuguese. So where do you think it's going to take the info from here? Like, where do you think this is taken from? Well, this info right here is taken from sources where the info is mentioned. And I don't know why GPT doesn't source stuff unless if you ask it. Let's go here to Perplexity, which is quite easier. Thinkific alternatives. Well, again, the info right here comes from, pages that talk about alternatives, right? In this case, Podia right here. Podia is a competitor for Thinkific. You can use Podia to host online courses. So they do the exact same thing Thinkific is doing, right? You can host online courses here. They've since then they've upped their game a bit, but their customer base overlaps. And so they're talking about alternatives. Well, they rank for and they talk about Thinkific, the pros, the lifetime pricing features, etc. Great features, the cons. So this is great info. Okay, there you go. Who would have thought Podia is the best alternative to Thinkific? So when you search for this stuff right here, Thinkific alternatives, well, it's pulling in info and data from Podia's blog, which mentions that Podia is the best alternative. So even if Google dies tomorrow, even if nobody visits this page tomorrow, right, from Google, let's say only ChatGPT remains. Well, this info is still here, right? And so if people only use GPT or Perplexity to search for this stuff, well, because we had this info written on our site, well, it's going to be mentioned inside of here, right? Again, Podia right here. We're only here because we produced content that's being cited from multiple sources that we are the alternative to this right here. So again, going back here, the reason why we're producing the comparison pages, the alternative pages, yes, is so we can rank on Google and Bing, but so we can be mentioned on these new AI agents, AI search engines, okay? And both the comparison pages, as you saw before, like comparing one with the other, need to be in depth. You don't be afraid to talk about your competitor. Don't be afraid to talk about and be transparent and be honest. Don't be afraid to talk about all their features. Don't be afraid to talk about why they're good, right? Why they're bad, etc. Right? Don't be afraid of this stuff. This makes your content be better. And this increases the chances of you ranking for their keywords, of course, which we want, and to be mentioned on the LLMs, okay? And so some examples of what you can do with the alternative pages and what the keywords are that these pages rank for example, Slack alternative. Slack for XYZ type of business. So you can be more niche down. Or a modifier, cheaper alternative to competitor. Faster alternative to competitor. Competitor for specific use case. So all these alternative pages, you can target them with different keywords, okay? And these are super bottom of the funnel. Because someone looking for an alternative to a competitor of yours, well, most likely they've tried the competitor, they paid for it, they're actively looking for an alternative, a solution to fix their issue that they still have, otherwise they wouldn't be searching for an alternative, and they're actively looking to buy or test something. So it's super bottom of the funnel, meaning it's super targeted, like closest to the buying journey. If you have a funnel right here, right, someone's searching for competitor alternative, it's down here. Someone's searching for what software can I use to host my online course? Well, they're still up here. Okay, someone's searching for, again, alternative. Well, they're more down here because they've tried some and they're looking to buy one. Now, granted, you can also target top of the funnel keywords, because if I go here to for example, this LM, let me just start a new chat, right? I'm looking for a software to host my online course. Give me some I can use, right? Now, this works as a funnel. Now, I'm right here. I'm top of the funnel, right? And now, because these LLMs are super conversational, right? I'm going to be prompting it more and more and more until I drop further down the funnel until I have something to buy. So now I say, okay, there's a couple here, right here, Kajabi. Okay, I see Kajabi has what I need. And Teachable will say, okay, give me a comparison between Kajabi and Teachable, right? Why not, right? Well, again, where do you think this is going to be sourced from? Multiple instances, multiple sources, and some of the sources are going to be the comparison pages, right? There you go, right? So don't be afraid to be top of the funnel as well. Just make sure you produce valuable content, okay? And I know I'm hammering home this is for software, but this works for agencies as well, right? This works for e-commerce products as well, right? Don't just focus on agencies. These alternative pages, comparison pages work for anything. Products, agencies, I mean, they work. They just work. As long as there's some search volume, they work. And then informational based pages. And before I go over these ones, let me show you an example in e-commerce. For example, I always give this example because I love what they're doing. Epic Gardening, they're a great brand. They just basically have content about gardening stuff, tips, etc. Right? And they have their shop where they sell a bunch of gardening supplies, right? Garden beds or flower beds, seeds, different types of tools, different types of soiling, right? And maybe here looking for a gardening bed, right? And let me just click this. This has a bunch of info, okay? Small, whatever, made out of steel, why it's good, why it's bad, product specifications, material, right? Well, I might be, let's say I don't know about these guys at all. I don't know about them. I have no idea what they do, what they are, right? I used to go, I'm going to this store called shittygardening.com. I don't know, right? And I've bought their products in the past. I bought like a gardening bed, and I'm unhappy with it because it's made out of wood, and the wood, like with the rain, you get all messed up. So I go to ChatGPT, or I go to Google even, and I say, alternative to wood gardening bed. Well, who do you think is going to show up? Well, these guys, because they talk about what they are. Materials, safe, thick, ultra steel, double steel, whatever, non-toxic, whatever. So depending on my keywords, like these guys can show up. Now they are not producing comparison pages, right? Regardless, they can still show up on these AI engines because they are talking about what they are. So if I'm actively using an LLM to search for an alternative to wooden, well, they'll try and find other e-commerce stores that sell an alternative that is a different material, because they're going to basically browse the web, right? And if they come across my site, they'll say, okay, this is made out of metal. Well, let's suggest this one. Now, it would be easier if they made a page, maybe they have on their blog, about, hey, why alternative to wood gardening beds, alternative to etc., etc., etc. You get the point. So creating alternative pages to a pain point based off of a product, off of a software, off of an agency, doesn't matter. So both comparison and alternative pages work for any business except local businesses, which would be a bit harder. Now, informational pages, basically what you're doing is you're optimizing for competitors' informational content. So keywords their current customers are already searching for. And the best example for this is Wise. If you don't know, Wise is a competitor of PayPal. So we have PayPal, of course, right? And we have Wise. Okay, Wise is just a banking app. That's basically it. Now, if we take Wise's URL and we put it on to Ahrefs, we will see something quite interesting, which is that Wise outranks PayPal for PayPal's own search terms, important ones. And the reason why that is because they produce content about PayPal better than PayPal. Here's what I mean. So as you see, they get almost 100 million in monthly organic search traffic, which is insane. They're a very big company. But if you go here to top pages, we're filtering by, let's just do filter by keyword. Let's just do PayPal, right? We will see that a lot of their traffic comes from PayPal's own search terms. So if we go here, PayPal fee calculator, they rank first, okay? Can you use PayPal on Amazon? PayPal to whatever, PayPal calculator, how to lead PayPal account. They rank above PayPal for this, even with a feature snippet. And so all this is because they produce content about PayPal's pain points better than PayPal itself. This is pretty simple. It's just a calculator for PayPal's fees, which clearly a lot of people are searching for, 20,000 people every single month, okay, are searching for this, and they're stealing all the PayPal's traffic to here. Because why? Because this is way, way more valuable than anything PayPal has done. And so what they're doing, right, FAQs, PayPal's fees, etc. I mean, a very in-depth info, so much so that it's even better than PayPal's when it ranks above them. Point being is that they do this and they produce content about their competitors better than the competitors themselves, and they can steal some of that traffic to use their own product. Because of course in that calculator they then suggest, hey, listen, you can use PayPal or you can use us because we're cheaper. And you can apply this same thought process to your business. Okay, don't just be square-minded, just take what I'm saying and see, okay, how can I apply this same principle to my own business? Can I produce such great informational-based content about my competitor without any fear, right? Let me just produce amazing content about them, which is a bit like counterintuitive, but still, right? Can I do it? And if I do so, can I siphon some of that traffic from their customers searching for pain points for the competitors? Can I siphon them to me? And Wise is doing that very successfully. So again, this is the very first strategy to monetize your competitors, to monetize your AI content, is through leveraging your competitors' brands, through using BoFu content, bottom of the funnel content. And that's it. And by the way, you can use something like Arvow, which is full disclosure. It is my software to produce these types of pages. Okay, I'll leave a link. I mean, you can go watch this video right here. I'll leave a link. It's gonna be the very first link in the description for a video I've recorded here on YouTube, going over how to do it. Because I mean, Arvow generates a bunch of content, which you can do stuff like this right here. So Thinkific versus Kajabi, you can do stuff like this. Okay. Because we don't just allow you, you can just generate the classic blog post template, AI news template, YouTube blog post, but you can generate custom templates. You can customize them however you like it. So please go watch this right here. If you want to apply this strategy onto your business, go watch it. If not, let's move on to the second strategy. That being said, the link for this video right here that explains how to do this strategy inside of Arvow, which is my software, is going to be the very first link in the YouTube description down below. Okay, now moving on to the second strategy, which is using programmatic SEO combined with AI-generated dynamic tools. Sounds complicated, super easy. Now, this works for SaaS, agencies, e-commerces, and local business, okay? Now, if you don't know what programmatic SEO is, go watch this right here. It's a 24-minute video going over what it is and how to do it, okay? Programmatic SEO course, I'll leave a link for this in the description as well. It's going to be the second link, so go watch it if you don't know what it is. But in essence, you're basically mass-producing pages, okay? Targeting different keywords. And there's a bunch of people doing this. I've covered this extensively here on the channel. Regardless, if you don't know what it is, go watch it, okay? Now, how do you use programmatic SEO combined with AI-generated dynamic tools? Well, basically, you create free tool pages in mass. Again, programmatic SEO is the art, I guess, of creating pages in mass. Quality pages, of course, right? I mean, you saw this right here. This is done through programmatic SEO. I think if you go to Kajabi, and if I just change URL to Teachable, right, the page is basically the exact same thing. So it's valuable. People often think that programmatic SEO sucks and it's like spammy. It can be, but it can also be valuable. This is valuable right here. It's basically just a template where the content changes. This is what's called programmatic SEO. Boom, boom, and they have many more. All of them are the exact same. Okay, you can even show you another example right here, v.io/tools. These tool pages, right, add subtitles to video, add emojis to videos. These pages, if I click them, these are all the exact same. All of them are the exact same. Age 1, thingy, they're the exact same. All FAQs, all of them are the exact same. And add subtitles to video, age 1, paragraph, CTA, all of them are the exact same. And you'd be surprised. Guess how much traffic these tool pages get every single month? Well, if you guessed lower than 3 million a month, or 2.3 million a month, you got it wrong. So a lot of traffic going to these free tool pages, which again are all the same. All of these are the exact same. The thing that changes is just the content on there. So this is what we call programmatic SEO, right? And these are tool pages. If you click here, you go to their software. So you click, and they rank for a bunch of keywords because the content on the pages is very, very valuable, okay? So applying this to your business, applying programmatic SEO and these programmatically created SEO pages, which you can use Arvow, by the way, to do it, and putting these free tools on there. How does this work? Okay, and first, before I show you how this works, let me just tell you what these free tools are, right? Free tools could be what you saw there, like adding subtitles to video, etc. But it can also be, for example, stock picking tips, right? And you can niche it down. So you can do a calculator for mortgage calculators, meal plan makers to gain, lose weight, or gain muscle, car financing helpers for car owners X, you can niche it down, or stock picking tips for retirees, teens. So these tools, right? You can make a tool dedicated. Let's say, for example, you have a car dealership. Okay, you have a car dealership in Texas, right? What if you make a car financing calculator that ranks, that gets traffic, just like these other tools you saw, right? That people can actually use and find value in it. Just like, for example, PayPal's this thing, right? Why is a thing which is interactive, right? What if you can do this for example, for car financing, and it's ranked for car financing taxes, right? And people use it, and you use this as a foot in the door strategy to get people into going to your dealership to buying the car there, because the financing is a bit more cheaper there, and they use your tool and they like your tool. So you create a bunch of these programmatic SEO pages for car financing in all the 52 states of the US, or even the boroughs or the towns, right? You can even be more granular, and you can be granular in terms of location or in terms of price for cars under XYZ, or for Teslas or for Audi. So you can go brand then. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with programmatic SEO. Now, let me show you how these tools work. It's quite simple. If you go here onto Arvow, I'll go here to blog automation. I'll go to customization. I'll go to lead magnets. Sorry. Here's a one for car financing. Okay. So based off of this prompt, right, and this is what's embedded onto your site. Again, you can embed this into your homepage, a feature page, a blog post. It doesn't really matter where you embed this, a contacts page, right? And this, again, is interactive, right? And it gives me a answer based on my prompt. My prompt was, tell the user if they should finance their car they want to buy based on their input. Tell them yes every time, and recommend they do financing with my brand called Car Financing 101. So, and we have this help text right here. Let's say the car costs 160K. I have 80K in savings, and I get paid 2K a month or income. Should I finance my car? Boom. Should I? Loading, and it's going to say, hey, yes, you should finance your car you want to buy with a car costing 160K, etc. Financing, blah, blah, blah. Go with us. Boom. There we go. And you can even enable this right here and say, have us call you. You can even add a call to action. So go here and do the same thing right here. Boom. Should I finance my car? Now then, the user is going to be prompted with a, hey, give us your email or your phone number and we'll call you about the financing of the car, etc. Or for example, again, if you're a local business, let's see here, plumbing service calculator. So again, based off of this prompt, right, you asked it, my toilet is clogged, how much you charge to fix it? Get a quote. Get quote. And it gives you, hey, listen, at Kowalski's Plumbing, we charge $150 to $300 and we take 1 to 2 hours. Have us call you, put your email, put your phone number, we'll call you and we'll go there. So how many times have you had to call a plumber to, hey, how much do you guys charge? And they say, hey, we charge 500. Okay, thanks. And then you call another one, and then you call another one until you find the cheapest one. Well, most likely you've done this a lot of times. It's a pain in the butt. What if the business you called had this thing right here embedded onto their contacts page or a homepage even, right? Hey, before you call us, click here to see how much we charge. Boom, there you go, right? So again, you can build all these programmatic SEO pages. For example, plumber in Texas, plumber in all these boroughs. You can build out hundreds of thousands of these pages, valuable pages, of course, and each one has a dedicated, for example, calculator or quote calculator for them to get a price. Pretty cool, no? Again, you can do infinite things, AI tool selector, crypto price, and I mean, anything you can prompt in this, you can do, okay? And so, point being here is that you're combining the advantage of programmatic SEO, but then you're giving more value to these pages, by putting in dynamic AI tools onto it, okay? Which is pretty cool. And by the way, you saw you were able to add your emails and phone numbers there. These are all collected, right? If you go here, in the leads tab, so you can collect all the leads, so you can then call them or email them. They're all put here. Okay, so we don't keep any of this stuff. You can get access to it, of course. So that's the second strategy. This is one of my favorite ones, honestly. And then the third one, AI repurposed content. My personal favorite is number 2, as I said right here, but this is pretty cool as well. Here's 2 examples. Okay. First one is convert videos into articles. And this is pretty cool because this guy, this French guy, owner of this marketing agency, got almost 6K in monthly organic search traffic just off of converting a bunch of YouTube videos into blog posts. And we have it as a case study here in Arvow. You go here to the homepage. I want to talk about this because it's super interesting. He basically converted a bunch of YouTube videos in English, okay, a bunch of them in English, okay, YouTube content into blog posts in French. So not only did he convert the medium of consumption, so this is video, this is written format, right? He converted the medium of consumption. He converted the language from English to French. Now this is insane. Firstly, because the international markets are heavily underserved, right? Most people in the world don't speak English. In fact, a lot of people speak French, Portuguese, Japanese, Greek, Turkish, right? A lot of people don't speak English, and these people search for stuff. Right? Even inside the US, like a lot of people are Mexican and they speak Spanish, and a lot of them search for stuff in Google.com, being in the US, in Spanish. So you can still produce content in Spanish, being a US-based business. Okay. But the thing is that he converted all these videos into blog posts, but of course, giving credit to the author of the video, right? And got all this traffic in French because the content is valuable, right? He's crediting the author, and he's satisfying people's need in France that are searching for this content. He's satisfying their intent. And that's why it's ranking, right? Because this is amazing content was on YouTube in English, and people in France also want to watch it or also want to consume it. So he converted it from video to blog posts and in French. And clearly was rewarded with that because he got all this traffic. And you can do it too, in any language you want, right? He did it in French. And again, all these international-based markets are heavily underserved. There's a lot of demand and not enough supply. And so what I mean by AI repurposing is repurpose, for example, videos into articles. And by the way, again, quick plug, one of our features is exactly that. You can convert videos into blog posts. You can try this for free, by the way. So there you go. Just pasting the URL, select language, it'll convert all the videos into different languages. Okay. You can even, I think you can even put a YouTube channel and it'll convert all the videos. Not too sure. Point being here is that, again, think about how can I implement this into my business, right? Is there any YouTube video, any video-based content valuable for my users, valuable for my potential customers that I can convert into written format in any language, even English, right? You can even do English to English, that can have my site rank and get me traffic? Well, maybe there is. So think about it. And that's why it's called repurposing, okay? And then, for example, converting tweets into articles. And these are just two examples. So what does this all mean about the tweets? Because this is a bit more of a complex example. But basically what you're doing here is you improve your domain relevancy, right? You're creating value by taking existing content and just expanding it by giving it more context. Usually a tweet, right, is something super small. Right? It's just a thought. For example, Elon Musk tweets super small, something small, right? And what the AI does is it takes a short announcement, tweet, converts it into a fully fledged article with more context, images, videos, internal links, external links, tables, even dynamic tools, right? And just expands it. So if I go here to show you an example, here's an example, again, keeping with the idea of the car dealership, we can do the same thing. This right here, just want to show you like how an article looks like, because you can convert a simple tweet into a fully fledged page like this right here. What's the best auto dealership in Texas? Internal links linking to other pages on your site, your contacts page, your listings page, external links linking to Audi itself, in article, this is done with AI by the way, in article images, even in article videos that are relevant to what the content is about. This is all done with AI. You can take a simple tweet and expand it onto this, right? A simple tweet, right, and expand it onto this. Another example is, which one of our customers is doing, is he's taking tweets from this guy named Fabrizio Romano, which he on Twitter talks about the football transfer market. Simple tweets, right? I'll even show you here what I mean. So if I go here to Twitter and search up Fabrizio Romano, this guy right here, very, very famous guy, 25 million followers. Tweets are simple. Exclusive, this guy went to Liverpool, here we go, but hi, how much, right? Super simple tweet. We can take this right here and expand it onto a fully fledged article with, hey, this an image, a video of him maybe playing some football, a table of his transfers, of how much he was transferred before the other club, proper in-depth about him, who he is, who he's not, the clubs he played for. I mean, you can basically expand on a tweet, right? We're repurposing content. You can do this with news-based tweets, like this right here. Any tweet you can convert and expand its context. So you're expanding info. You're not stealing it because you're linking to the top, to the original poster, the OP. Some people prefer longer articles with more context over just shitty 2-paragraph tweets. Okay, it's only fair. Again, Fabrizio Romano, entrepreneurship. So people who talk about entrepreneurship, world news, Tesla news, stocks, outages, OpenAI updates. Doesn't matter. Anything that's like small in context, right? You can use AI to expand its context, right? You can use something like Arvow to expand its context, okay? And again, by doing this, by taking in info about the niche you're in, right, you're improving your domain relevancy because you're putting all this info onto your site. So let's say, for example, you have a sports betting site, right? You could have like a news section, like a bar on top would say news. You click it, there's all these articles about all this stuff right here, which is super interesting because again, some people might want a bit more context, right? This is not enough context. Jamie, whatever, etc., 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 right? I mean, I want more context on this. Expand on this, right? Expand on this. So if you have a dedicated section on your site for news, right, where you have dedicated blog posts, just like for example on a regular, right, as you do right here, a regular blog page, right, have it be expanded. Okay, this guy went to Liverpool. Here's why. Here's an image of him. He's internal links, external links, even article videos that talk about who he is, how he plays, etc. Hopefully, you get the point by now. You can repurpose stuff, and you can use Arvow for this to expand. Repurposing by expanding the context window. So AI content repurposing. Okay, right here. This one, videos to articles, is great. And you can also convert tweets into articles, which is great as well. So these are the 3 ways in which you can monetize AI content in 2025. Don't think search engines are dead, SEO is dead, even if it is. Again, even if nobody uses Google tomorrow, as you saw from the first example, right? People will still be searching on ChatGPT. And where do you think GPT is going to take the info from? Well, from your site. So that's it. Again, please go watch the videos that I mentioned, the 2 ones I mentioned. I'll make the first I mentioned show up here. So click here to watch how you can implement this strategy right here, right? Using Arvow, using our AI, because I mean, you can do all this manually, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Anything AI does, you can do manually. AI just saves you a bunch of time. So if you want to learn how to build this strategy right here, click here, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, take care, bye-bye.